Hey guys, and welcome back to Low Life Machining. I'm Chad and this is my shop. I've been a bit slack on doing videos lately. My slow season turned into my busy season and it just doesn't stop now. Things have been getting quite busy for the shop and I'm not complaining. Turning something out of nothing has actually worked for me. So I got a call from one of my customers and says, listen, I have my truck in the shop. The driver has taken it and he blew an axle and drove on it over 120 kilometers, and now the shop had a hard time getting the hub off of the back. Now this is a twin steer dump truck, so in the back of a twin steer dump truck it's a full float axle, so the axle is attached to the hub, and when that axle broke, it broke directly off at the axle flange. So you have this axle that's still into the differential, and as it's driving down the road it's just beating itself senseless. So what that ended up doing was taking the spindle at the very end of it, which you'll see here, and oblonging it. So when it went into the shop to get repaired, they pull the axle, realize they can't get the nut off of the hub, so they cut the nut off the hub, get the hub apart, and then realize that the threads are just boogered beyond belief. And the damage was then done. So they ended up using a flap wheel and trying to take this oblong spindle and oblong threads and turn them around again. Didn't work out too well. So they called the customer stating that they've called the machine shop, and the machine shop wants them to remove the axle out of the truck and take it to the machine shop to get done. And my customer, knowing me, he says, don't bother. I'm going to call my machinist and he'll come down and take a look at it. So late last week, I go down, I take a look at it, and basically the plan in my head is, if I have this big machine shop that says that they can't do it and that they have to remove the axle to do it, how can I do it without removing the axle, saving the customer money, and putting a win in my pocket? I wasn't too confident that I could do it, but I sat down and I went over it and I looked at it and I devised a plan, and I came up with a tool that I had to build. And once I had built this tool, I still wasn't convinced that it was going to work out, but I was convinced in my machining, and I believed that I could pull it off. So what I have ended up doing here is I never really took a video of me building this tool because it was quick. It was a rush job. It had to be done so that the shop could finish doing their work to the truck. For me, it was just about time. And again, with everything that's been going on lately, the videos haven't been coming out because it's all about getting them done, getting the next job on the go, getting that one done. And before I have time to think, I have 5 jobs in. 3 months have gone by, I haven't put out a video. So this one is going to be a quick video on just the operation of the tool and not so much the machining of the tool. It's something that I've never really seen before. I was pretty happy with how everything turned out in the end. So at this point, I'd like to take the time to thank my customer for actually thinking of me, and we'll get into the tooling and what I did and how it's built.
So I had to repair the threads on this axle, so I've built this jig here, which is same thread count as this, and then that's going to be our tool.
Okay, so basically this tool comprised of 2 parts. One is a piece that's going to bolt on to that existing spindle theoretically, where there are no bearings, which ended up working out perfect. And then another tool that actually threads onto that. And a cat's head is essentially a piece of pipe with 4 holes evenly spaced on each end. And then you can use that like a 4-jaw chuck or whatnot in order to tighten up on this irregular shaped piece, and it gives you a round surface that's centered. That's what a cat head basically is. And then you can put a steady rest on it, or you can clamp it or whatever. So what I basically built was a cat's head that has a threaded exterior. So this is the cat's head. It's got, I believe, 3.5-inch hole in the center. It has grub screws 90 degrees apart from each other on each end. And the threaded section is actually 12 TPI, or 12 threads per inch. So that gets bolted onto your spindle. This piece here is the other side of the story. So it's internally threaded at 12 TPI to match that, but then it has 2 handles made out of 3/4 inch material. This is 5-inch pipe, OD, and then on this end we built a quick tool holder. So we have 1-inch stock drilled and tapped for 3/8 on one end, and then on the inside we can hold a 1/4 inch tool bit, and it also has a set screw. And then after I had that all in place, once I was at the shop, I realized I needed to be able to put a grind mark in here in order to get an Allen key in and tighten and loosen that grub screw in order to keep that tool tight, or loosen it and back it off. So as this threads on to the spindle, this cuts the same thread profile as what I need to cut on the 3 1/4. It's a fairly simple project, fairly simple tool. Took a lot of time to design and to manufacture, but the end result worked out great. I ended up having my young fella ended up having a day off of school. I was like, listen, I really got to get this job done, so if you don't mind coming along with me, you might have to sit in the shop for a while. Well, I threw him the phone, so some of the footage is exactly that. It's a 9-year-old taking videos of his father. So I hope you enjoy it, but it was the only video we could actually get of the tool in use, and I thought that if not, no one will ever see it. One of the keys to having this work out properly is to have the cat's head in the same location as the thread pitch of the tool, which ended up working out for me perfectly. And once I had the cat's head portion of this tool onto the spindle, I literally just used a V-block and a mag back dial indicator to be able to position that within, I think I ended up within 3,000. So I just had your typical V-block for your mill, mag back for your machine. I lined that up pretty much on center, and then once this was mounted onto the spindle, I was able to use this on the threads and be able to check my points at each of my grub screws and adjust it like a 4-jaw chuck. No different, right? And it worked out quite well.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think? She's gonna fit?
Maybe.
Maybe. Let's find out.
We'll see. I don't really know. Is this gonna be a YouTube video?
I don't know. Let's see here. Get that started, right? Feel like it.
Don't feel like what?
No, I'm just catching the thread. Try this one. Better. Sir. That's a good sign. Yeah, man. That's her. Go over here.
Not written on there. Oh, that was a square nut, was it?
That was the
Yeah. Cleanup nut, we'll call it.
yeah, which in theory is the same as this nut, it's different. Yep, should go on. Once you find her, that's going to be the key.
Sorry, we can find it.
She's a little tight right there, but then she just goes right through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, once you get by it.
Yeah.
So now you start chucking some bearings in the hub then.
What's that?
It's all
Now
better
you
than
start
a
chucking some
tomahawk.
bearings in that hub then.
Yep.
Okay.
Like I said, it's pretty much right at the front, and then as she gets to the back, she opens up again.
You can get nothing on those, though.
Run her back and forth a few times. Oh, that one hurt the knee though.
Yeah, that's all you need. You only do so much.
Oh, that's it. If we're getting professional, I call. Now we'll get Peter in. We'll have a look at it. Check your work.
Oh, Dad.
Fair enough.
I accidentally clicked the switcheroo button, but I put it back.
That's all right.
So there's only one
That's
pic
all I
of
wanted
my
you to do,
face.
buddy.
My face, but it's okay. Want me to stop recording?
Yes, please.
Alright guys, that's it for this one. Like I said, short video, keep it sweet, and hopefully it will get your attention to think outside the box. Because if you don't think outside the box, you're not going to get the jobs done. And you're not going to get the jobs that other people think they can't do. So that was a big win for our shop, and hopefully that actually will pull in more work for us in the future. Until next time, take her easy, Buzzy. Thanks for watching.